Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Hey, big guy. Let me get some of this back here. Thank you.
Wow, that's impressive. My dog doesn't know how to stay. Rig.
I want it more than him. I want you more than he wants you, right? That's what he's learned. He's like, man, he really doesn't want me to come up on him. I want it more than he does. But he wants it quite a bit, just so, you know, more than the average dog.
That was their #1 complaint.
Wants to be the leader, but he's not leader material. So what happens in the wild when that happens is he gets corrected by the pack around him and he's eliminated as leader material. That doesn't happen when they're raised with humans a lot of the time, so they get false confidence and they believe they're leader material, but now they're stressed all the time because they're actually not able to carry the responsibility. It's too stressful for them. They have poor judgment, they overreact, they're insecure, they're not genetically built to lead, okay? He's meant to follow, so he's trying to fight somebody who's telling him to follow because they all do, and that's how natural selection works. They all get programmed to say, I want to climb the ladder, right? And then that results in confrontation, which results in conflict, and then they figure out who can actually get to eat when they want and as much as they want, right? Or whatever the resource is. How it translates in the modern world is resources, things a dog wants, food, toys, a comfy spot on the couch. It could be people, it could be dogs, it could be anything. His whole thing is he wants first access to everything. He wants to choose how the pack responds, and he wants to have first access. So if he sees another dog walking down the street, he wants to have the decision, naturally, to be the one to decide how to deal with it. Again, in a pack of dogs, if he's trying to chime up when somebody, a more dominant dog, wants to take care of it or sees it as a resource, he's gonna get corrected. He's gonna be punished by that dog. And then next time a situation comes up where there's a resource, he's gonna sit back and let that dog decide how and when he's involved. So we just use that. That's their world. We just use that. We call it being the leader, making him a follower. And how it looks is anytime the dog tries to deal with something on their own, they get corrected and then redirected. Guess what? They stop trying to deal with stuff. So if somebody's to walk on the property, my dog's not going to go up on them. He's going to look at me. And then I'm going to tell him what to do. Go away, stay here, or go ahead and go up on him, right? But I get that moment to choose myself as a leader. The only way to get that in the natural world and with your dog, because they are from the natural world, is to correct when somebody else is trying to step on your shoes, right? When other pack members are trying to come up and take that role, if you correct them all successfully, they'll fall in line behind you. And now you're running the show and single file, you're going through the event. You can tell them what to do. That goes for anything. People at the door, dogs walking by on the walk, resources around the house, food, toys, comfy positions, it all boils down to that. What conversations we choose to have with him to form our hierarchy, what conflicts we're looking to set up so that we can have resolutions where we're on top, where he starts to see us as leader and somebody he follows. That's up to us, and we do it through, you see it all the time, we do it with thresholds, we do it with dogs, we do it with resources like food, where we teach the dog a recall, we teach the dog a stay, and then we present the environment with something the dog might want. The dog goes to try to deal with it, they get corrected, recalled, asked to stay away from the thing, let me deal with it, blah, 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 blah. Here's an underlying rule for the dogs that they're learning. Don't go up on strangers. Isn't that wonderful? Don't go up on stranger dogs, don't go up on stranger people you don't know. And in fact, just don't go up on people unless I tell you, as the leader, right? Don't, it's like, he's not going to, once he lives with me long enough, he's not going to just go around the house and, take a pillow and say, this is mine or something. His mindset's going to be 100%, I give him everything, and he's directed by me, like this dog. This dog does not fight us at this age. He's 9 years old, he's been around. This guy doesn't put up a stink at all.
And he used to fence fight, he used to bark, he used to pull.
Right, he used to do it all. He used to do all the bad stuff. It takes a dog like that to create a trainer. So, but listen, it's the hierarchy. The commands are great, but where you experience attitude and stuff is your dog. There's only 3 positions that you have to worry about, because if it sounds so complicated, it's like, how do I know who's in what position? It's not that. It's a little bit abstract, I suppose, but think of it this way. Between the dynamic in you and your dog, the relationship, there's 3 positions that you have to look at, okay, in relationship dynamic. 1, the dog's above you and you're behind the dog, right? So the dog gets to choose how to do things, when, where, and how, and you have to follow. People live like this, okay? Another one is the dog is equal to you. All right, so we got the dog in front, now we got the dog equal to you. He's your little sidekick, right? So you guys kind of have a democracy. You decide to get you a compromise, right? The dog will listen to a degree and you'll get what you want to a degree, but you'll also have to blah, blah, blah. You'll also have to give in to the dog, right? This is like getting the dog inside by using peanut butter. There's a compromise. You come if you get this. And then the other dynamic is you in the front seat and the dog in the back seat, where the dog lives life through your direction, right? That's the one that I like to live with dogs. That's the one that I curate here. Now, if they go home and you want to put your dog right here, you say, well, at least he's not in front of me, but I want him to be equal in decision making. You're going to have arguments from time to time because he's going to disagree. There's no room for disagreement once they commit to the back seat. We don't want backseat driving, no. So they understand that it's a follower lifestyle. It frees them from stress. All these stressed out dogs become relaxed, happy, confident. They're followers. They're in the pack mentality. They're not trying to be the 1% that's, of dogs that can actually handle it. I don't actually know the percentage of dogs that can handle it, but it's not a lot that can actually calmly make good decisions in the world and lead the pack by correcting the right way, the proper amount, not being too insecure and having bad judgment where you're overcorrecting, and having a stable enough mind where the other dogs can follow. It's not going to be many dogs, and he is not one of them. He is not a leader material. All right, and neither is Mr. Riggy, unless he's with literally 2 months olds, and even then he doesn't want anything to do with them. So he's solo, this guy. If you admire him and appease him, yeah, he'll like you, but he's not going to, attach. He doesn't seem to form relationships with the younger ones. He wants control. That's it. So he can set boundaries, so he can be comfortable. That's what we all want. All right, so this guy's learned. His whole world's just changed. Okay. He ran up on the dog, he got corrected, he kept making the mistake. He's realizing that his choice, he's getting frustrated because he's saying, when I choose this happens, and he wants a different response because he's done it probably hundreds of times in the past. He wants a different response. He's not getting the response he wants. He's getting one that he doesn't want. He's getting frustrated. He's starting to nip around. You know how they get into that state when they get frustrated. I teach him to just calm down, relax, submit, stop worrying about anything at all. Just be here, look me in the eyes, relax. Okay, you there? You relax? Okay, good. Let's try it again. Bring the dog out. Let him ramp up again, right? Let him make some mistakes. Post-correction, frenzy. Let me settle your mind down again. It gets to the point where I can correct. This is a worse than average case, but he's not the worst that we've ever dealt with, obviously, very far from it. But he's worse than average, right? So he needs a little bit of an extra touch. Post-correction should look like this. The dog's in any state of mind, whether they're calm or crazed. You hit this button, after correction, the dog should go to the calm state. Okay? That's created through follow-through. After I correct him and he spazzes out, I have to go create calm state, right? Once I do that, it becomes shorter, the time from the correction to the calm state, until it's immediate. It's correct and it's right to the calm state. There is no, because the dog finds relief in the calm state. It actually becomes the alternative behavior, the coping skill, to get out of worrying about the dog going around and worrying about the punishment of going up on them. It's like, well, if I just sit here and go into this chill state and just watch it and listen to what my handler's saying, which is nothing complex,
Don't bark.
It's like, yeah, it's nothing rocket science. And just enter this calm state like this, which he's doing, your life's going to be good for you. So they learned this is a state that you go in a lot of times with humans, because humans are doing this. We're talking to each other, we're on our phone, we're doing human things. This is perfect for you. Passive, calm, not interactive and crazy, okay? Passive, meaning something walks by, you don't interact with it. You watch the world go by. You don't get amped up and think about all the options. You just watching it. It's not an option right now. We create that by allowing the dog to make a lot of mistakes until they naturally choose this.
He's falling asleep.
And we do it over and over again until this is the state that they carry as a default. Unless you offer otherwise. Unless you're like, hey, dude, let's go have fun. Then the dog can go up in energy. But as soon as it's time to calm back down, calm down. We're in this calm state. This calm state is beautiful that they listen. Okay? All right, I think that's enough rambling from me.
I love when they
He's
relax.
done fantastic. He had a rough go at it, but what I mean by that is he made the mistake, then made the mistake. He kept trying it. He wanted his payoff to explode. I want to do this because this makes me feel good. He realizes it's not worth it. Let him sit on this. We'll bring him out the next time, do the same thing, and watch him change his behavior and get rewarded for this, and watch the change happen. Okay? break?
Yeah, bud.